So, hello and welcome to the Throne of Eldraine version or episode of Commander Durdle. And my choice from Throne of Eldraine is Grumgully the Generous. So this is a red-green commander. It's a 3/3. So 1 red and a green for 3/3. Legendary creature, Goblin Shaman. Each other non-human creature you control enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. So non-humans were a theme in the set, so it's one of the reasons why I decided to go with this. Also, as I mentioned in the set musings episode, I haven't checked, but I'm pretty sure one way or another I did end up pulling multiple copies of this particular one when I open boosters, because it was uncommon. Well, we'll know when I go through and do the Friday artwork video, won't we, whether that's right, with my memories correct on that. One thing I did when I put this seed together from cards from the set was I was careful to include the majority of cards I wanted to include were cards that reference this non-human condition. There are, I think, about 3 cards here which don't directly do that, but synergize in some other way. I've avoided pulling in lots of general utility cards from the set because I didn't want to dilute down the pool, the seed, in some way, so that the algorithm wasn't as affected by the presence of these non-human cards. But we'll see whether that makes any difference and where that pushes us. So just going through what I did include, let me just correct the artwork on that one. Not that there's probably any difference. So creature size, we've got Wildborn Preserver, so 1 in a red, /reach is a 2/2. Whenever another non-human creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay X. When you do, put X +1/+1 counters on Wildborn Preserver. So synergizing there on a couple of levels. We've got Questing Beast, 2 and 2 green for 4/4, Vigilance, Death Touch and Haste. Questing Beast can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Combat damage that would be dealt by creatures you control can't be prevented. And whenever Questing Beast deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to target planeswalker that player controls. So more there for utility. It was an interesting card I wanted to put in the deck. It's in the set, and just see, sort of thing that's nice to experiment with. Keeper of Fables, 3 and 2 green for 4/5. Whenever one or more non-human creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. Instance, I did include this, which is a modal green spell, so destroys artifacts or destroys enchantments or exiles a target card from the graveyard. Got Thrill of Possibility as an additional cost to cast this spell, discard 2 cards, draw 2 cards. So I was looking for some card draw stuff. Both of those cards don't specifically reference this ability or synergize with it. This does, however. So choose 1, draw cards equal to the greatest power among non-human creatures you control, and non-human creatures you control get +3/+3 until end of turn. Land-wise, well, there was Command Tower in the set, albeit as a result of it being included in the Brawl decks. And then we've got forests and mountains from the set. Enchantment, we have Ferocity of the Wilds, so 2 and a red. Attacking non-human creatures you control get +1/+0 and have trample. I've left out the adventure stuff for the moment. I just want to see where having a number of references to non-humans pulls me. I wasn't very diligent here also. There we go. Single green for this Rosethorn Halberd. So when it enters the battlefield, attach it to a target non-human creature you control. Equipped creature gets +2/+1. It's got equip for 5 on it, but hopefully I'll just be able to stick it on the appropriate non-human creature. But if I need to switch it, it's quite a high equipment cost though. Arcane Signet was in the set, so we'll stick that in. And the Great Henge. So 7 and 2 green. This spell costs X less to cost, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. So we're playing a heavy creature deck. Tap, add double green, and you gain 2 life. And then whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on it and draw a card. So it synergizes nicely. So yeah, very heavy creatures. Very heavy creature deck. This is going to be, so 30 plus creatures at the moment. Got 37 land in here, and we'll just have a smattering of everything else really. Well below 10 of the various types, and let's see where this is going to take us. So I'm looking forward to this. See what comes up. So I think what I'm going to do is just start off with the support cards and do the creatures last, maybe. So what are we getting suggested here? So we've got some stuff to protect my general, and that's a good thing, I suppose, because it's pretty critical that Grumgully stays in play. So let's definitely add Swiftfoot Boots, Lightning Greaves. Okay. And it dies of a new one. I think for the moment I might leave it at that. So we're in green and red. Yeah, we'll always reveal 3 cards with different names. So it's interesting tutoring. It's Crows and Grip. Silk card would be nice. Beast Within. The owner of target permanent shuffles it into the library, then reveals the top card of the library as a permanent card. Let me think about that. Interesting artifact destruction there. sorcery side of things. Yeah. Let's put our usual green friends in here. Yep, leave it at that for the moment. So, moving on to enchantments. It's nice. If one or more plus one. Yep. Okay, that's good. Could play a Fires of Yavimaya. That for the moment, and let's have a look at planeswalkers, and then we'll look at some utility land. +1/+0. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it. Okay, that's interesting. Maybe I'll stick both of those in. It's not going to hurt. Okay. Here we go. Wolf Run. Reliquary Tower. Rogue's Passage and Warren Reef. Trying to remember how much red and green proliferate stuff there is actually. I don't think there was, so. Alright, let's crank these basic lands down a bit. Oh. Bit too far there. Okay, on to our creatures. So we've got everything else in here. We've got creatures, enchantments, lands, planeswalker, sorceries. Anything I've forgotten? No. Let's go for it. So I'm going to just scroll down and see if there's anything here that specifically mentions non-humans. Okay. Or proliferate. Actually, let's go bottom upwards. Sometimes you get interesting stuff lurking around here. Okay, you don't really want to go with goblins. There seems to be a number of cards that are buffing countered creatures in some way, or creatures with counters on them. Creatures with power less than champion. Can't block. Okay. Interesting. I'm basically looking for things that amplify counters in some way, either through proliferate or some other mechanism just in the abilities down here. Oh, draws cards, of course. We got 76, so quite a number of cards to add yet. Let's just go back in and re-roll this just to see where we go. Okay. More +1/+1 encounters. Non-Hydra creature you control +1. Oh, we got the kitty. Sorry. So we don't have a loud kitty today, but my PC's fan is really spinning up. It's funny because I'm not rendering any. Sometimes I'll be rendering videos in the background while I'm doing this. Okay. Taking my time today about my selection of creatures. So finding this very meditative actually. As a consequence. I think this deck's going to be generating a ton of mana. I'm just looking for some utility here outside of the +1/+1 counters. but what's this? +1. Yeah. Always nice to be able to move stuff around. I'm a bit unsure about how Persist is going to behave in the deck, so that's why I'm sort of avoiding this. With all these +1/+1 counters flipping around. Beginning of your end step, create a 1/1 green insect creature token for each +1/+1 counter you've put on creatures under your control. Yeah, I've played around with decks before which, you know, as a side thing generate tokens off of something else, and in the right combination of cards they can get out of control pretty fast. But this one, I mean, yeah. But it's one I want to I'd put in just to see how it would behave, I suppose. Do I want a bolt bird? Your end step, put a plan on each modified creature you can. Okay, yeah. It's not really going to be there for this, but each other creature you control enters the battlefield under X1. Okay. I suggested a thermopod. I've not seen this card for a while. It's interesting because you could definitely go with this. I didn't really walk through the possibilities, but obviously +1/+1 counters, Goblin Tribal, Goblin tokens, yeah, various token stuff. Lower level red-green tribal probably as well, but I suppose the top two are counters and some form of like Goblin Tribal, Goblin tokens type thing. I don't know if red-green Shaman would be a thing. So 6 cards. And we've currently got 28 creatures, so I'm happy to keep adding creatures here, I think. I mean, I'm just wondering whether I could play around with enchantments. Let me just see. Okay, whenever one or more modified creatures you control attack, untap all modified creatures you control. After this combat phase, there's an... Why not? Oh. It's an elemental. How can I not? Oh yeah, what the hell? Okay, 98. So 8 instants, 6 sorceries, 5 enchantments. Let's just look at some of the other things. I am curious here. So we do have this, which moves counters around. Control of it. Yep, that's good. And okay, so let's export this and just have a play around with it. Before I export it, so I need to export it a second time, I should check my mana base. Okay, not much red in this deck. Surprise, surprise. How low do I want to go? Interesting curve. This could be... It's one of those decks where I'm quite excited for how it's going to just look in terms of drawing, but it could go horribly wrong. Why did I just do that? I don't want to compare the deck. I want to goldfish it. So not letting me go into the old playtester anymore. Probably not. Okay, so I'm going to have to get used to this, I suppose. This is really weird. I don't know what this is doing in the way here. Okay, and options. That's a bit of a new experience. Okay, so we have Khan's Bastion. So we got what, two land here. Okay. Let's get that out. Draw, got a forest. Beast Within, Loyal Guard, Can's Bastion. I should get that out. So that untaps. Play green. I can play that. Or I could get a Swiftfoot Boots out. Yeah, this is looking good. Grumgully's over here, so until I get red, I won't be able to play Grumgully. Does the order matter here? Probably not. If I do this, then the next turn... Oops. Is that going to get back on the... Yep, the next turn, I can play that and that. Never another enemy, yeah, and that. Okay, good. So with the mana I've got out, everything's playable except Loyal Guard, I think. But I can't get my commander out yet. It's unfortunate. So where are we? Oh, got an Evolving Wild, so I can get a red mana source. Okay. So yeah, now I can play my Grumgully. I've done it again. I keep flipping drawing those. I have Forest. So yeah, this is just it's gonna be difficult to monitor here, but yeah, this looks like fun. So let's just try again. 2 forests, secure a Tribalder, Gruul Signet. That's pretty good. Cultivate. I'm just going to see what some sample hands look like, because this just looks like a fun deck to play around with. Yeah, nice and low. Mountain, Arcane Signet. Rockfall Vale, Oran Reef Forest, Wildwood Scourge, Akki Battle, yep. Avenger of Zendikar. Oh yeah, this looks like so much fun. Okay, Single Forest, Reclamation Sage, Evolution Sage. So we got 3 mana stuff here. So 2 land, but most of the stuff here, unfortunately, is 3 mana. So we can get our drops out. Don't want that. Don't do Forest. Okay, I can get a Incubation Druid out. I need more mana, thank you. I need more mana. Okay. Oh yeah, we need that out. Cool. Yeah, our Arcane Signet, so we can get access to red mana. Cast art. So yeah, no, I've not got enough mana online now, so the only thing I can't cast is this. But I would probably want to get Grumgully out. And then these just can go out. So the only thing I'm really that's stuck in my hand currently is this. Just see what else comes on. Now we're okay. Forest, mountain. So we're definitely not really having any mana troubles here, but when we looked at our curve that was probably apparent. So Gruul Turf, nice. Forest. So 3-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, 3-drop, 3 drops, so 3 drops. Done 1 forest. Yeah, nothing I can really cast, so I'd probably want to see play that. It's a shame really, it's nice if I had a 1-drop, because then I could play it and then bounce this back and then play this, but what the hell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My forest, and now it's interesting because I can get my Grumgully out if I wanted to. Mountain. Okay. Yep. 2-drop. 3, 3, 3. Yeah, this is nice and low. Okay. Command tower. Forest. Boom. 1 more sample hand. Mountain. 2 of those. Okay, so at the moment we got a bit of a problem because we've got no green sources. Anyway, let's just see what happens. And that's obviously going to be a problem whenever we get, like, mountains and nothing else, because we don't have many red cards. It's the only thing. This might be the only hand where I get stuck and I have to start discarding. But we'll see. Oh, we're in luck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Okay. So yeah, now I can start getting some stuff out there. Cast my Grumgully. And now, is everything castable? That one's a problem. Yeah, so anything currently with 2 or more green mana in, I'm a bit stuck. So let's just see. Oh, we're good. So we got forests now. Okay, that's fine. And then just 1 more. Rogue's Passage, Forest, Keswick Wolf Run. Okay, turn 3. It's turn 5, 4. So slightly, definitely higher mana requirements in this particular hand than we've seen so far. Doesn't really matter. Let's get the mana out. Can't really cast anything yet. Oh, Evolving Wild, so we're We don't have a mana problem, put it that way. Well, I can cast Domri. Oh, no, actually, yeah, I could cast my... I must forget, Grumgully's pretty low. Okay, well, that's fine. We'll get that out. And I'll get this out. And some... Anything else? Yeah, Sport for choice. So, yeah, Reliquary Tower. So really only one hand so far where there's been a bit of a problem. Nice. Okay. Let's go out to the deck. So, yeah, so I'm now curious, because this looks like such an interesting deck to play. It's a cheap commander. Like, I wonder what could be removed to just make it a bit more budget friendly. I suppose we could take out the Lightning Greaves and the Ozolith. So yeah, from there remove the Lightning Greaves and the Ozolith. A mana base or a land base. So there's probably obviously cheaper and slower alternatives for some of the dual lands I've chosen. I would want to keep the utility lands in though. So out of this, probably, yeah, I could remove that, put in a different dual land, a slightly slower one, to maybe reduce the price a bit. I do really need a Reliquary Tower in here, and quite possibly other cards, so that I have no maximum hand size, because there's quite a lot of cards in here. I'm going to start heavily drawing cards once everything comes online. So that would be a little bit of a concern. I suppose what I could do is, yeah, take out the Lightning Greaves, and there is an artifact which I can't remember, but there's a couple of artifacts which, well, more than a couple, that, you know, that give you unlimited hand size, so maybe at least one of those could go in. This Great Henge is super expensive, so I could take that out. Yeah, maybe put another couple of artifacts in here which reduce the restriction on my hand size, and that would bring the cost down, because those cards are normally pretty cheap. I mean, the only expensive, yeah, I mean, that's fine, Kadama's Reach. Planeswalkers are pretty cheap. Here, I mean, I might be able to shave a little bit off there by swapping out Beast Within with a different card that does a similar thing. And I don't know how expensive like my creature base is. It doesn't look like, for the amount of cards in here, there's maybe a little bit of trimming I could do. Maybe I could remove the Questing Beast. It's cool because there's like tons of, yeah, Kadama, the West Tree, you could remove that, put in another. As you saw, there was quite a lot of choice for like, you know, green utility creatures and red. I could take maybe a second look at some of those goblin cards and see whether they just add general utility as opposed to being, you know, more, what's the word? More relevant in a goblin tribal deck. Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to. That's such a cool card. There may well be some other Hydras. Because, yeah, a lot of Hydras mess around with +1/+1 counters. So there we have it. I hope you enjoyed that episode. That was fun to look through and see where Grumgully took me with the algorithm, which is the whole point of this. And yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. So thanks once again for watching. Bye for now, and I will catch you in the next episode.